Once upon a time, in the celestial realms where the boundaries between the divine and mortal worlds blurred, there was a solemn duty that transcended time itself. Amidst the cluster of stars and nebulae, the Archangel Michael, fully clad in armor of gleaming silver and gold, received his divine order. "Go forth, Michael." The voice of the Almighty God resonated like thunder through the heavens, and bind Samyaza and his followers who have defiled themselves with mortal women. With his wings spread wide, Michael descended from the heavenly heights, his presence heralded by a trail of shimmering light that pierced through the endless expanse of the universe. His heart, though filled with righteousness and unwavering loyalty to the Creator, weighed heavy with the knowledge of the impending confrontation. Here on Earth, Samyaza, once a paragon among the Watchers, had succumbed to desires forbidden by divine decree. Alongside his brethren, he descended to the earth, drawn by the beauty of mortal women, whose laughter echoed through verdant valleys and danced upon gentle breezes. In the embrace of these women, Samyaza and his gang found solace and fleeting joy, forsaking their sacred charge as guardians of celestial law. As Michael's radiant form touched down upon the rugged terrain of the earthly realm, he beheld Samyaza, a figure of ethereal grace tainted by the shadows of disobedience. The fallen angel stood defiant upon a precipice overlooking a vast expanse of wilderness, his wings once luminous and pure, now bearing the marks of his transgressions. Samyaza Michael's voice boomed like thunder, resonating through the valleys and mountains that bore witness to the cosmic struggle about to unfold. "By the authority vested in me by the Most High, I command you to surrender and face judgment." Samyaza turned slowly, his countenance a mask of defiance tempered by a flicker of regret that lingered in his eyes like a distant star struggling to pierce through gathering storm clouds. "Michael," he spoke with a voice that carried echoes of ages past. "We sought only to understand the beauty and fragility of those whom we were sworn to protect. Can you not see the love that bound us to them?" Michael's expression remained resolute, his gaze unwavering as he raised his celestial sword, its blade shimmering with the brilliance of 1,000 suns. "Love does not justify disobedience," he replied solemnly. "Your actions have defied the laws of creation and brought forth suffering and chaos." With a roar that shook the foundations of the earth, Samyaza unfurled his wings and launched himself into the air, his form ablaze with an aura of defiance and sorrow. As he soared towards Michael, the heavens themselves seemed to hold their breath, awaiting the outcome of this celestial duel between angelic brethren turned adversaries. Their clash reverberated across the cosmos, a symphony of steel meeting steel and ethereal energies colliding in bursts of radiant light. Michael's movements were swift and precise, guided by the righteousness that fueled his every strike. Samyaza, fueled by a passion born of both love and rebellion, fought with a ferocity that mirrored the storms that raged across tumultuous seas. Blow after blow, parry after parry, they danced amidst the celestial firmament, their wings leaving trails of stardust that shimmered and faded like fleeting dreams. Samyaza's once glorious wings bore scars from their battles, yet still they carried him with a grace that belied the weight of his defiance. Michael, ever steadfast, pressed forward, his sword a beacon of divine justice that sought to bring order to the chaos wrought by Samyaza and his followers. With a mighty sweep of his blade, Michael struck a decisive blow, cleaving through the defenses that Samyaza had erected with desperate resolve. The fallen angel staggered, his wings faltering as a radiant light enveloped him, binding him in chains forged from the essence of celestial fire and righteousness. "You are bound," Michael declared solemnly, his voice carrying the weight of eons of celestial law and judgment. "For your transgressions against the Most High and the order of creation, you and your followers shall be imprisoned in the depths of the earth until the day of final reckoning." Samyaza, though shackled and defeated, gazed up at Michael with eyes that held both resignation and a glimmer of hope. "Will there ever be redemption for us?" he asked, his voice a whisper carried upon the cosmic winds. Michael's expression softened briefly, a flicker of compassion crossing his features before he turned away, his wings beating a steady rhythm that carried him back towards the heavens. "Only the Creator holds the keys to redemption," he replied, his voice echoing through the valleys and mountains that bore witness to their struggle. "May His mercy shine upon you in the days to come." And so, it was that Samyaza and his followers, bound by chains forged in the crucible of divine justice, were led away from the earthly realm, their wings now weighed down by the burden of their choices. Yet even in their captivity, whispers lingered among the stars of a distant hope that one day, amidst the cosmic tapestry of eternity, redemption would shine like a beacon, guiding them towards a path of forgiveness and reconciliation. In the quietude of a serene evening, with the sun casting its final rays across the rolling hills, a hushed murmur seemed to echo through the valleys. It was a time when whispers of old tales swept through the air, tales that spoke of a time long past when celestial beings descended to the earth. Now this is what happened in the beginning. Deep within the folds of time, beyond the memories of men but etched in the annals of the heavens, there existed a realm where the divine and mortal realms intertwined. It was in these days, amidst the tranquil beauty of the earth, that the Watchers, angelic beings entrusted with guarding the laws of creation, gazed upon the daughters of men with longing. Among them was Samyaza, a watcher of noble stature, whose heart swelled with a forbidden desire for the mortal women who walked beneath the sky. His peers, drawn by curiosity and the allure of earthly pleasures, followed suit, casting aside their divine duties for the fleeting joys of mortal embrace. And the Lord said unto Michael, the ancient texts foretold, "Go, my Angel Samyaza and his associates who have united themselves with women, so as to have defiled themselves in all their uncleanness." Michael, the archangel of justice, descended with a solemn purpose. With ethereal chains forged of light and righteousness, he bound Samyaza and his followers. As the heavens trembled with divine decree, the earth quivered beneath the weight of their transgression. Yet, it was not merely the Watchers who faced judgment. For their unions bore fruit, sons born of heavenly fathers and mortal mothers, beings of great strength and spirit. But their hearts were tainted by the recklessness of their sires. And in their veins flowed a legacy of discord. When their sons have slain one another, the voice of the Almighty proclaimed, and they have seen the destruction of their beloved ones, buying them fast for 70 generations in the valleys of the earth. And so, it was decreed. The offspring of the Watchers turned against each other, driven by jealousy and the burden of their celestial heritage. In the depths of the valleys, beneath the shadow of towering mountains, they were ensnared by unseen chains, bound to the earth until the passing of 70 generations. Till the day of their judgment and of their consummation, the voice intoned, till the judgment that is forever and ever is consummated. Time flowed like a river winding through eternity. The valleys where the Watchers' children were confined became a realm of solitude and penance. The world above flourished and evolved, civilizations rose and fell, yet the echoes of ancient promises lingered in the whispers of wind and the rustling of leaves. In those days the prophecy continued, "They shall be led off to the abyss of fire, and to the torment and the prison in which they shall be confined forever." But the story did not end in despair. For even in the depths of darkness, hope flickered like a solitary flame. Legends spoke of a day when redemption would come, when the chains of old would rust and crumble, freeing the souls bound by the sins of their fathers. And whosoever shall be condemned and destroyed will from thenceforth be bound together with them to the end of all generations, the prophecy warned. Destroy all the spirits of the reprobate and the children of the Watchers, because they have wronged mankind. Yet amid the shadows, a promise of renewal emerged. A promise that from the ashes of destruction, a new dawn would rise. The earth, scarred by the deeds of the past, would be cleansed of all wrongs, and every evil work would come to an end. Let the plant of righteousness and truth appear. The voice declared, and it shall prove a blessing. The works of righteousness and truth shall be planted in truth and joy forevermore. And so, it was that the seeds of righteousness took root in the hearts of men. Through trials and tribulations, through victories and defeats, the echoes of ancient stories whispered of a time when harmony would reign once more. The descendants of the Watchers, burdened yet resilient, carried within them the potential for both darkness and light. In the quietude of a serene evening, as the sun cast its final rays across the rolling hills, the tale of the Watchers and their descendants lived on. It was a story of divine retribution and human frailty, of redemption sought and truth revealed. And in the endless tapestry of existence, where past, present, and future converged, the promise of a new beginning shone bright like a beacon in the night. Thank you for your support.